So it's been a busy old afternoon here in Washington. The president has just wrapped up an event at the White House that was related to some changes that he's making in the rules about school milk, actually, here in the United States. But he did make news on two major areas of foreign policy. First of all, Iran, amid growing expectations that the clock was ticking and we were heading to a situation where the United States might imminently launch a military strike against Iran. The president surprised reporters with a bit of news that he said had come from very important sources on the other side, relating to what he says he hopes is actually taking place now inside Iran. Let's listen to what he said.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping. It's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution.
So remember, of course, there was a threat to execute a 26-year-old shopkeeper, Irfan Soltani, who had been arrested only on the 8th of January and very, very rapidly sentenced to death. The president seemed to be implying there that that execution in Iran is not taking place, and there are certainly other reports suggesting it has been delayed. But equally, while he was saying the killing has stopped, human rights groups were reporting that the killing is very much still underway of protesters in Iran. So where this leaves military action is unclear. He was asked twice by reporters if this means military action by the United States is off the table, and he evaded the question and simply said that after the meeting that he was in at the White House ended, he was going to go off and gather more information about what he says the United States has heard from the other side, by which I presume he means Iranian officials. So let's see where that goes. The US had been evacuating, like the UK, military personnel from the Al Udeid air base in Qatar, and there were other indications that the clock might be ticking on a plan to launch a military strike on Iran, but perhaps that is not now going to take place, at least over the course of the next few hours. The other big topic here today is Greenland. There's been an extraordinary meeting at the White House between the Danish foreign minister, the Greenlandic foreign minister, Vice President J.D. Vance and the Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The two foreign ministers from Denmark and Greenland, respectively, said that it was a frank conversation. They said that elements of it were constructive.
We're going to see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens. They're going to brief me on the meeting right after this conference. In fact, the sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know exactly what happened. But we have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know. We'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome. We're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything about it.
There's no more than what they can do than
Well, we're going to see. I mean, look, we're going to see what happens. But we need it. I'm not the first one. This was talked about by President Truman, and 40 years before President Truman they were talking about it. They've been talking about this for 100 years. This is not anything so new. A lot of people don't realize that, but this was a hot subject, probably not as hot as it is now, but it was a hot subject for a long time. We need it for national security, and that includes for Europe. And I spoke with, as you know, Mark, the head of NATO, and he really wants to see something happen.
So fresh threats there to Greenland from the President of the United States, coming just hours after the Danish and Greenlandic foreign ministers met. J.D. Vance, the Vice President, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio at the White House. It does not appear to have been a meeting of minds. The Danish foreign minister said that they had all agreed to disagree, to set up a high-level working group to see if they could find any kind of compromise. But the two foreign ministers from Denmark and Greenland are accused President Trump of embracing untrue narratives about what is taking place in Greenland and pushed back relentlessly against those claims that the waters of Greenland are teeming with Russian and Chinese vessels. They say it's simply not true.